So Gloucester finished third in their group of four in the trophy, beating Oakland's Wolves. In the cup, they lost in the first round to Nottingham by just 7. They're currently 13th in WBBL with 3 wins, having beaten Cardiff, Durham and Nottingham. They lost to Sevenoaks 44-84 when the teams met in the West Country in November. Results from yesterday, day before Cardiff lost at home to Leicester 58-88. Sheffield beat Manchester 99-64. Essex lost at home to Caledonia 68-83. And Nottingham won 85-77 against Durham. The upshot of all of that is that there is a bit of movement in places 6 to 8. Top 4 remain Leicester in 4th, Sheffield in 3rd, Sevenoaks in 2nd, and London Lions in 1st place so far. Caledonia by 40, 91-51, and Durham beat Manchester 69-55. Tomorrow, London play Sheffield, Newcastle play Essex. On Wednesday, London in action again, play Manchester. Essex play Oakland and Cardiff, Newcastle. On Friday, the Suns travel to Leicester, who they beat last Friday 62-41. London are at home to Essex. On Saturday, Sheffield, Gloucester, Oakland, Newcastle. Then the last day of the regular season, London come here to play the Suns. And it'll be their 5th game in 8 days. Starters for Gloucester are going to be number 6, Kirsty Russell, number 8, Inma Bautista, number 9, Carolina Marquez, number 15, Mega Hall, and number 35, Marley Ball. International flavour from those 5, 2 Brits, Canadian, a Portuguese and a Spaniard. And coming out for the Suns will be number 3, Frankie Burtz, number 4, Julia Koppel, number 8, MARRIOTT, 22, Matt Carr, and 41, Jamila Thompson. European flavour with Julia Koppel, Frankie Burtz, Matt Carr, American.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to Surrey Sports Park for tonight's WBBL fixture between our hosts, the Sevenoaks Suns, and our visitors, the Gloucester City Queens. And tonight, I'm brought to you by a special guest, Mr. Ishmael Fontaine. Ish, welcome to the booth, brother.
How you doing, brother? I'm very happy to be here.
Well, it was a surprise, obviously, to see the infamous Ishmael Fontaine, of course, one of the British basketball's favourite characters within the community. I mean, tell us, what have you been up to recently?
Oh, mate, I've just been getting kicked out of the quarterfinals of the NBL playoffs, so got a lot of time in my hands, and I think it's time to come and watch more basketball, especially WBBL is one of my favourite leagues to watch. Especially, I want to watch it live, so I'm happy to be here.
Well, talk about coming to watch WBBL. You're in the house of the Sevenoaks Suns right now. Right now in the starting 5, we got Jamila Thompson, Frankie Burtz, and I believe out there Renee Bush is going to come up. She's going to start. She's been coming off the bench recently. But what do you think about this lineup, of course, with the Sevenoaks Suns.
You know, it's a scary lineup. I was watching Renee Bush warm up, and her jump shot is so quick, especially off that pull-up jumper. She gets it into her pocket really, really quick. Great rotation on the jump shot. You know, they got probably one of the GOATs of the WBBL in KUMAR. You know, she's so prolific. She's so hard-working. She's just a consummate professional. I watched her warm up too, and I've seen her play in so many big games, and this is like, it's going to be a tough one for the Queens, man. You know, they're a little bit light on the bench. There's a lot of inexperience right here, but it'll be like a baptism of fire, you know, that they've been kind of having all year from what I've been seeing. So it's going to be really cool.
It's interesting you talk about KUMAR there. Of course, the local primary schools have been having this spelling bee test, and her name's been coming up, and they couldn't decide how to spell her name. Was it MVP or was it GOAT? But we will find out as we're closer to it. But tell us about Jamila Thompson. For me, Jamila Thompson has been a tough player and a great addition for the Suns this season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she's long. She can kind of switch on to multiple players. She runs the floor really well, you know, and she's got a little game where she can create her own shot, you know.
Well, now you can see Julia Koppel. She is going to jump here. Well, as you mentioned, a very thin lineup here for the Gloucester City Queens. And again, it's going to be very interesting to see how they cope with a very high-tempo Sevenoaks Suns team. And the officials now are ready. Once the ball is up, business will start to take off. Well, tip is underway now, and the Suns will get the first possession. As you mentioned, of course, Ish, Jamila Thompson playing a variety of roles here for the Sevenoaks Suns.
Yeah, definitely. With the body she has and how athletic she is, that's what's going to be expected of her.
Well, nice backdoor cut there by Frankie Wirtz. Lays that one off the backboard. And what do you think about the passing ability there of KUMAR?
I mean, the coaching is so well done. She can just kind of orchestrate an offense through everything they do. Where even if you see them warm up, they're all looking for each other. They all know how to control that. The spacing is always great. So I'm not surprised that was the first play of the game.
Well, great denial defense there by Julia Koppel. And the Gloucester City Queens, they do have Kirsty Russell on the court, the former University of Worcester player. And they can see a penetration by Marquez. Goes down the middle. Takes her, gets rejected. Well, Julia Koppel said, not in our house.
No, they don't let no one get middle, and she had to drive because of the pressure, so that was kind of orchestrated by that defense. They knew it. Oh, another one.
Oh, Carr with another down low there. Well, that is a bit of a mail delivery there. Well, they say there's no mail on Sunday, but this is Easter Sunday, and KUMAR is coming out with the dimes.
That was a dime. I'm not even gonna lie. That was amazing. They're holding the ball. The pressure's great. They're keeping them out the middle, you know, showing sideline. Yep, the jab don't work. She's really far from any kind of shooting range. She's still got the ball in her hand. She's got to move it.
Well, Carolina Marquez now giving this one to Kirsty Russell, the pump fake. She goes down the middle. There's a kick out, a 24-second violation. And Ish, what great team defense there by the Sevenoaks Suns.
The pressure, denying the ball, making them play higher up the floor. It's very difficult. They actually got something really good out of it, but they got it late. So.
Well, time and time again, we've seen teams come here to the Sevenoaks Suns here at the Surrey Sports Park as Renee Bush. She'll throw this one down here to Julia Koppel, looking for a handoff. Well, Koppel now giving this one out to KUMAR with a pump fake. Well, Kyle looking for options. And there you see Ish, the wide open shot from downtown. Doesn't get it.
It's a great shot. She's so unselfish, man. She's really looking for everybody to get a touch. When we already know her offensive game is very complete. It's a great shot. Ooh, unlucky.
Well, just dropped the temperature down with that air ball there. But again, these Sevenoaks Suns, again, known for blazing and turning the heat up in this arena. And again, you talked about the ball movement there, of course, and there you can see KUMAR. We know what a great scorer she is, but becoming more of a facilitator now here for the Sevenoaks Suns.
I mean, she's just what you can do with a roster like this. She doesn't have to force any kind of shot. They can move the ball, be patient. They can play whatever pace they want, and she's really good at controlling that pace and seeing the floor.
Well, the Gloucester City Queens now come up with a loose ball here in transition. They're going to take this one up with Marquez. But again, they need to try and get into their sets a lot quicker.
High ball pressure. She's nowhere near the three-point line. Spacing's, yep, high ball pressure. Everything's a backup dribble. No middle. Good kick.
There's a penetration by Marquez now. Has to go up. Another rejection. Well, Julia Koppel is just blocking everything. And now KUMAR here in transition.
This is what Queens don't want. They don't want to turn the ball over or get a block shot where they have to now run with the limited roster they got. They got to control the pace of this game.
Well, the Sevenoaks Suns do punish them in transition. The mid-range jump shot by Renee Bush, as you mentioned, the great shooting technique. And now the Gloucester City Queens struggling to get into her offense here with Kirsty Russell.
Yeah, it's a lot of ball holding. They need maybe play more pick and roll, maybe to kind of open it up in a drag screen and transition, maybe.
Well, Jamila Thompson just gave the official a bit of a look to say that wasn't a regular rebound. But there you can see Julia Koppel lays that one, the assist coming from Renee Busch and the Gloucester City Queens. They have to call timeout as they trail now 8-0, 6:53 to go here in the first quarter.
I think 8-0 is not crazy, but when you think about the way they got their buckets, it was all like layups under the basket. They took 1-3 so far. Great shot. So they've actually got every single shot that they wanted. So yeah, you've got to shut that down. You've also got to move the ball on offense, because that's part of, I think Sevenoaks play offense on both ends of the floor. I think they attack you defensively and they attack you offensively. So high pressure, denying the ball, everyone's talking, everyone's under the basket. If someone gets beat, there's someone else with them. So it's going to be a tough one if they don't start moving that basketball.
And one player we have to talk about is going to be coming off the bench, and that's Janice Montecano, of course. I mean, she's a player for me. She's one of my favorite players here in the WBBL. She comes off the bench, she shoots from the perimeter, but she just knows the game very well. She moves very well off the ball. No Judah Fritz tonight. What do you make about that for the Sevenoaks Suns?
I mean, the scheduling has kind of helped them, to be fair, because she's a big miss. But I agree with you, Janice. I've seen Janice do some amazing things in finals, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing her come off the bench. That's a luxury to have her coming off the bench. She's a marquee player in this league.
Well, we have a saying, when she comes off the bench, it becomes Janice time. Montecano hour, if you like. But again, probably one of the best spot-up shooters I've seen so far here in the WBBL. As you can see now here, Lila Hall is going to inbound the ball here for the Gloucester City Queens, and not much really going for them on offense at the moment. Again, with a very shallow roster.
No. I mean, this is more spry though. They're getting into them. They're getting the ball in shooting range. There's a pick and roll right there. She didn't roll. She got to roll harder. That would open up the three-point shot.
Well, Marley Ball now looking for options. Has to throw up a circus shot off the backboard and doesn't get the roll on that one. Carr with a rebound, and quickly in transition, she finds Renee Busch. Well, Busch has got Jamila Thompson ahead of her. Finds JT. JT with a one dribble.
Oh, she should have shot that.
Cross-court pass now. Good ball movement. The three is down from Renee Busch. The three is up. The three is good from downtown. Well, Renee Busch, like you said in the warm-up, is starting to light it up.
She really, really could shoot in any country, any place in the world. She could shoot on a beach with a coconut. She is unbelievable.
Well, double team called. I think the foul is going to be called here on Julia Koppel, the Austrian international. Well, Julia Koppel, one of those players this season, we have seen her become a little bit better in her perimeter shooting, a bit more confidence in her game. But what do you make of her development this season?
I mean, it's a testament to your team when you have time to develop. The season is not a time to develop. But when you can play on a team so good that you can develop something during the season, that is a testament to how great your team is.
Well, Gloucester City Queens now here with under 10 on the shot clock. The three is pulled up from downtown, the front iron. Jamila Thompson with the rebound, and now Kat Carr will push this one. The Sevenoaks Suns with an 11-0 lead here. Carr now with the ball. Finding Frankie Verts. Verts goes down here to Julia Koppel. The turnaround, the mid-range. Doesn't get it, but Jamila Thompson following up. But this time the ball is secured.
It's a very good shot. I'm not sure what the game plan is for the Gloucester Queens, because I saw 2 possessions ago that they were trying to take Kat Carr off the dribble. It's not really going to happen. So, see, again, Kat Carr was stopped because someone, she felt like she was impeded, and the help side was there, and it turned into a turnover.
Well, traveling violation there called on Carolina Marquez there with the penetration. Just ran into a very tall, stumbling Julia Koppel. And again, Marquez has to pull up for a jump stop at that point. You see that a lot in British basketball, but there's a lot pass. Beautiful play there. Gets one. Well, the 1-2 coming from Jamila Thompson. Going to Julia Koppel, and she just lays that one up, and she will go to the charity stripe here for the three-point play.
That was a great offense. She caught it at the top of the key. They kind of noticed that there's no help side back there, and they both was high on the elbows, high-low every day. It was a great offense.
What's interesting, because the Sevenoaks Suns a few times, I think they've lost to the London Lions on all occasions this season, but I think they're the only team so far here in the WBBL that's closest to beating them at the moment.
Oh, 100%, especially when they're all healthy. It's going to be, it's going to be a great game to watch, It's a very, very good team.
Well, Carr now turns it over there. And now the Gloucester City Queens with a chance to put some points on the board.
Good drive. Oh.
Well, great defense there by Frankie Verts. And now Carr again here in transition. Goes down the middle. Finds Busch. She made a last three. She takes another one. In and out. Doesn't get it.
The way she gets it into her pocket so high. She needs to start, a lot of people need to start watching the way she has the ball in her pocket every time. It's such a good shot. You can't be mad at any shot she takes, because they all look like they're going in.
I got an interesting story for basketball fans out there. The first time I met Renee Busch, a three-pointer from downtown from Kirsty Russell from Nottingham, but went to University of Worcester, a classmate of mine actually. But speaking about Renee Busch, she was a high school classmate of mine at the American school. I think she was 11 years old and she beat me in a knockout competition. It was from that day I realized she was going to be a good shooter. Well, a kick out now. Renee Bush, speak of the angel from downtown, doesn't get it. But Julia Koppel with the offensive rebound. And the Gloucester City Queens punish themselves without boxing out the Austrian international.
Well, that's two infractions. First of all, you leave one of the best three-point shooters in the country wide open, and then you don't box out the offensive rebound when you need all those little ones. Suns are up so much right now. They don't need any gimmies. They need to be able to work for everything they have.
Oh, it's interesting you say that as well. The Suns, in this kind of game like this, they can work on things. And another 24-second violation. And again, you can see right now the Gloucester City Queens, without that go-to player right now, that franchise player to put the ball in the hands and say, look, 5 seconds left, get us a shot.
Definitely. They get into their offense really slow. And then when they get into their offense, they're exhausted by all the denying and the bumping, and you can't get an open cut anywhere. So it's really, really, really great to see a team understanding, look, we play defense and we get stops, we can do what we want on offense.
Well, I just got a notification now from the Sevenoaks Suns on Twitter. Substitution's been made, and it is Janice Monicana hour right now. And she's just checked into the game, but a turnover there by Millie Watkins, I believe.
You don't get too upset about those turnovers. She was trying to find her teammate. Her teammates just got in the game. It was a high-low of a pick and roll. I felt like she could have shot it. That's the second shot she's turned down so far. But that's a testament. That's a testament to your unselfish team.
Well, the Gloucester City Queens now trying to build some momentum. Another tough shot from downtown, hits the back iron. But Kirsty Russell with an offensive rebound as Jamila Thompson there. She gets caught out in the box out. And out here, Batista looking for a crossover here. Gets a pocket pick. She's got to get a shot off now. 2 seconds. Forces up a circus shot, doesn't get it. Watkins with a rebound, and now here you can see Frankie Wirtz. She draws a foul there on Batista. And the Gloucester City Queens now just praying for anything to go in the basket at the moment.
These are tough shots. They're just really tough shots. The ball's not moving. It's not pinging enough. They want to try and take people off the dribble. You know, for me, my game plan would not be to try and take Kat Carr off the dribble. That's one person I don't think we're going to do it that way. I don't think we're attacking Kat Carr off the dribble.
Well, Thompson now getting a handoff here with Kat Carr. Carr now the hesitation, goes up. Doesn't get the and one, but I think the foul, I'm not sure if the official called the foul on the ground there, if it's going to be a baseline ball. But again, you'll love the hesitation move there by Kat Carr.
I remember a good player called Junior Williams who used to coach at the London City Royals, and that was his go-to.
OAT, Junior Williams. Well, Junior Williams, funny you talk about him. At Janice Monicana time. And again, just as we said before, she will start to light it up from downtown.
Early.
Well, the three is up from downtown again.
You know, when you can sub Renee Bush in for Janice, it's like, you know, it's tough.
Well, missed shot there in transition there from, of course, coming from the Sevenoaks Suns. Well, another turnover there by the Gloucester City Queens.
I really don't want to see this box score with the turnovers. It's looking scary.
That's one thing, of course. You know, you're going to end up turning the ball over a lot against a team like these Sevenoaks Suns because they're just so good at collectively, number one, taking that accountability for the man-to-man defense, but more importantly, shifting and also rotating very well. I mean, you know, you talked a lot about matchup zone defense. In a case of your experience as a professional player, how hard is it collectively as a team to be very good at rotating and being accountable for each other?
I mean, it's very hard if your mentality isn't team first, but if you've got a really good team first mentality, you can kind of plug these holes and not to be too stressed about guys missing rotations because you know they're trying, and that's the most important thing. You watch all the great teams, you know, Suns. They don't. No one sulks when they get subbed. No, the ball moves even if they've got a good one-on-one matchup. I haven't seen anyone take anyone too much off the dribble. Speak of the devil, and it's a pass and a kick and it's a layup.
Well, we talked about Janice Monicana being a sharpshooter. Right there you can see she's just becoming a facilitator with the penetration and the dish off there to Millie Watkins. Well, Janice Monicana just showing what a great basketball player she is. Good help side defense from Jamila Thompson. Jamila Thompson, for me, is an MVP candidate this season. She has to be, for me. Definitely. Just one of my favorite players.
Definitely. She's got so much talent. I mean, that baseline drive was good, but no one slid to the corner. I think the Queens got to work on
what a pass by Jamila Thompson, and she lays it up. Well, Jamila Thompson, she threw in the dime in the vending machine, and she pushed the numbers of Janice Monicana and she laid that one up.
I mean, I think she's the last one to come out this game, and you can see why. She hasn't really shot the ball, but you can see she makes everything tick.
Well, plays like that are just magic, you know, when you make those no-look passes, of course, and you know what? That's what this team's all about. So many players. You know, we talk a lot about Kat Carr, the MVP caliber. We talk about Renee Bush, international experience. But again, you look at players like Frankie Verse, Judah Fritz, Janice Monicana, of course, Jamila Thompson, for me, definitely a top 5 player here in the WBBL.
Definitely. And you know what her position is? Like, she's hybrid. She could play in a lot of positions. You know, she's making point guard reads, but she could probably stretch to the 4 in some lineups. She could definitely play the 3 and the 2. So you actually think, you know, her IQ and her game and her body translates to a lot of leagues. We're lucky to have her.
Well, the Suns now leading by 19 points. We're under a minute to go here, so they've got Renee Bush, Janice Monicana, Millie Watkins, Verts, and Thompson on the court here. And a potential 2-for-1 play here for the Suns. Well, Monicana splits, goes all the way with a finger roll, and she lays that one, kisses it off the backboard.
That was an excellent move. She split the defense, and she finished on the right side of the basket, so that was amazing. No middle again, pressure. Pressure, making the defense back up. She wants a foul. It's not going to get called. There it is. She's okay with that.
Draws the foul on
Well, it's going to be a baseline ball here. That's only the second team foul here for the Sevenoaks Suns. And again, just shows you how many turnovers they've caused here for the Gloucester City Queens. But with 2 fouls, great defense, of course.
She has to use that screen.
Well, get a good ball reverse to get a wide open shot from downtown. It's way off the mark. And now 10 seconds here. Jamila Thompson's going to take this one down the court. Thompson kicks out to Monicana. One more pass. Finds Watkins. End of the first quarter. It is showtime. BEA beautiful basketball from the Sevenoaks Suns. They are blazing out here at the Surrey Sports Park, 25-2 against the Gloucester City Queens.
That was an elite fast secondary break. I wouldn't call it a fast break. Queens did have numbers, and they did make a few passes, but that was an elite secondary break. Oh, my goodness.
Kind of reminiscent of watching those old-day basketballs of the Boston Celtics and the LA Lakers, where the ball just never touches the floor, of course. I mean, very unselfish, but very, methodical basketball, of course, from the Sevenoaks Suns.
No, definitely. And I was watching them play the London Lions, and I really do think there's a couple of adjustments they need to make, and it will become a really good game, you know. For the Queens, I don't understand the game plan. I don't understand who you're focusing on, and I don't understand offensively why you're attacking the way you're attacking. I don't understand it. I think they need to get down the floor quicker, because you're still playing professional basketball. You can't save your energy and walk the ball up. But also, defensively, you've left Renee Bush open for 2 shots. You know, they didn't drop, but shoot is shoot. So when you think about that, and obviously offensively as well, trying to attack, you know, probably the premier defender in this league in Kat Carr, who takes it very, very seriously, is not the greatest game plan. There's been a lot of pick and rolls that haven't been used, a lot of denials of those screens too, so hopefully they can come out and be a bit more fluid and get some easy baskets, because that's what they're really missing.
Well, if you look at the statistics this season, of course, Kat Carr, she's leading the way with 16 points per game, followed up, of course, by Janice Monicana. She's averaging 13. Verts and Koppel combined total just under 20 points per game between those two teams. I mean, those two players, excuse me. But again, you just see that the points really are evenly distributed between these players. I mean, it's a collective effort, of course. And again, you know, you have that dream series that you want to talk about, a 7-game fantasy series between the Sevenoaks Suns and the London Lions. I paid a lot of money to watch that,
Dude,
you know.
I'd book my week out. I'd be very, very happy to see that, you know. Unfortunately, we only get a couple of games and might get a final. Cats on the point again.
Well, if you're talking about the Suns and the Lions in a WBBL final at the O2 Arena, I'm booking the first-class courtside tickets for that. I mean, that would be one hell of a game to go to. This couple comes up with an offensive rebound. She kicks this one out the bush and again finds a wide-open Carr with a pump fake. Carr down the middle in the lane. Gets the shooter's roll on that one.
That was a great drive. She was trying to see if she could hit Janice in the corner, but she took the mid-range shot instead. Both would have been great shots. Look at the switch.
Well, the pick and pop there. She takes another 3-pointer. She's taking a few tonight. Can't get that one. That's a good look there from Marley Ball, but she's got to start knocking these down now.
She needs to continue to take them. That's a very good shot.
Carr now finding Janice Monicana, just dribbles it off her foot, a fumble there, and it goes out of bounds. And that will be the Gloucester City Queens possession. It's interesting, of course, because you think about the Surrey Sports Park. It's a great job that the Sevenoaks Suns have done over the few seasons, being a regular dominant contenders here in the WBBL. It's a tough penetration there going to the lane, and again, much needed points to see only the second field goal of the game now here for the Gloucester City Queens.
And they're not going to the line, so it's a lot of fadeaways right now. They're not trying to go to the Baja, as we used to say back in the day.
That was Marley Bull there. She gets her first 2 points of the game, and another steal here by the Gloucester City Queens.
Maybe a bit more aggression. She had a foot of space. She could have shot that one. The ball did move 3 or 4 times. Now we're getting into a little stagger action. It's better movement, but the ball's sticky. Again, they're trying to attack Kat Carr. I don't. And she's sending you left. I don't think that's wise.
Well, there's the kick out in the corner, the pump fake. Step back for 3, didn't get it off in time in the third. 24-second violation of the game now called against the Gloucester City Queens. A better build up there, but as you said, you know, they're making life very difficult for themselves. They're trying to get the ball to Marley Bull. She's been guarded by Kat Carr. And again, it's just not really what's going to happen for them in their game plan today. Yeah,
there was a great action with the stagger, but nothing really came from it. We didn't really get an open up at the bottom for there's been 0 post touches in this game. You know, and they caught it and they held it. So, and then you try to attack again. Kat Carr, who's very intelligent, she sent you to your weak hand, and then you had to kick it out to the strong side corner, which was guarded, and now it's another turnover by the Queens.
Nice pass in the lane there. You can see Carr going down the middle, missed the shot, but gets her own rebound and keeps it alive there as Watkins comes up with a loose ball. Well, Frankie goes down the middle, kicks out here to Renee Bush. She goes baseline, back to Verts. Goes up for a long, long 2-pointer, and nothing hits the rim on that one. The rebound secured here by the Gloucester City Queens. Carr's coming up with it. Interception time now. She's got Watkins with her. Carr, a bit of contact and a hard foul there committed by Carolina Marquez.
It's a very great drive. Good drive. You know, you've got to attack them. You know, they don't want to foul, so they're backing up. You got the size on her. You've got to attack.
I was expecting a Euro step there, but, you know, this is Kat Carr we're talking about. Born and bred from Philadelphia, just tough as nails, wants to go in for that contact. I mean, if it's up to Kat Carr, she'd rip the ring down if she could.
No, definitely. I saw her, when she stole the ball, she looked right at her teammate for a 2-on-1, but her teammate trailed, so she thought she would attack it herself. So she's always looking. She's always watching. She's always trying to make the right decision, right play.
Well, another offensive rebound here for the Sevenoaks Suns as Watkins comes up with it. Verts kicks out to Renee Bush. She comes off a screen now with Julia Koppel. Oh, looking for options now. They get a ball reversal. They find Kat Carr. And a foul is going to be called off the ball, I believe. And I think they're going to call that one on possibly Marley Bull, I believe.
It's unacceptable to not box out on a free throw when the score's like this. You've got to play with some more oomph, you know. Box up. Offensive rebounds, you know, someone might be a bit more athletic than you, but on the free throw line, it's unacceptable.
Well, he said 28-4 so far here in the second quarter. It's not about the X's and O's anymore. It's more about heart and pride and desire. And that'll be the question here for the Gloucester City Queens. How much heart do they have? Is Renee Bush from downtown. She takes it, doesn't get it. Another offensive rebound. Good ball movement here from the Suns. And now Kat Carr will shoot it from downtown. She'll nail it from the desert. Good ball reversal there by the Sevenoaks Suns.
She's a true pro. She's taken every kind of shot you can take in a basketball game so far, and she's nailed at least every single one. So she's a true pro. And she's back on defense, switching, keeping guys out the middle. Again, sending you to your weak hand, ball's being held. Strong side corner kick. They're not leaving the strong side corner.
Kirsty Russell now throws up a circus shot, doesn't get it.
Tough shot.
And now Sevenoaks Suns will push this one. Carr finding Frankie Verts here. Verts looking for a kick out off the Bush. Bush now going down to Watkins. Back out to Verts. Good ball movement here. Another 3-pointer. Deja vu. Doesn't get it. But another offensive rebound there from Julia Koppel. And Renee will try another one from downtown. And she'll sink that one. Lights out from the perimeter. Renee Bush, the former University of Pennsylvania basketball player, punishing the Gloucester City Queens poor rebounding.
It's very difficult to guard the three-point line off an offensive rebound. Everyone's in the paint. You know, now got to get out to someone like Renee Bush. She's got a really quick trigger. You know, she gets the shot up quick, and her feet are always set. So something's got to give. Either you get out to the offensive rebound, or you get out to the shooters. But it can't be one or the other, or neither.
Well, Carolina Marquez there missed a shot. Is now Frankie Wirtz in transition. Finds Renee Bush, tries another three. And right now, somebody needs to call the electrician, because the Sevenoaks Suns, they are shooting the lights out here at the Surrey Sports Park.
The great Alex Awumi would say 2 for $1 on that one. So that's tough. I saw it coming too. I saw this again with the Sevenoaks Suns. The way they run the floor together and the way they push the ball. You've got the ball handler with her head on a swivel trying to see who's going to be open. And luckily, it was the person who just hit a three.
I saw Alex Awumi actually here last time I was at the Surrey Sports Park. For those who are not aware of Alex Awumi, he is the infamous British Basketball League player that won a championship with the Worcester Wolves back in 2014 and the BBL trophy. Also, he's an author of his life story, Gaddafi's Point Guard. If you haven't heard of it, make sure you buy a copy of the book. It is a fascinating story of Alex Awumi's professional career, of course. Overall, we talk about him being an MVP, more of a most valuable person in my mind. He's just a great person to talk to.
Definitely, very, very intelligent, and I'd say probably the best shooter I ever played with. Jump shot is insane. I always tried to compete with him to work on my game, and I think it really helped.
They've done wonders down there in Worthing Thunder, of course, him and Zaire Taylor. You think about the big names that they were in the British Basketball League, and, probably still to this day, I think they could play in the BBL if they wanted to, but they've really done some, added on to the foundations, a part of, what you guys have been a part of down in Worthing Thunder. No,
definitely. I think it's going to continue to grow. We've got a great setup right now, and we want to keep on making it better, and Zaire is really committed to the community. He's really committed to the professional standards and everything. So it's great, and it's a great example of what other teams could be doing.
Of course, that's what British basketball needs. You see a lot of these professional women's and men's players come into either the WBBL or the BBL a season or two, then going on to a bigger contract. But as you mentioned, we've got players such as Kat Carr, Alex Awumi, really investing in British basketball and just making a better environment, for everybody to really follow on and progress, of course. Well, another three-point attempt there by the Gloucester City Queens. And Kirsty Russell, that's a good look there. She hit the back iron, and Jamila Thompson has the mismatch.
The mouse in the house.
Well, great defense there by Kirsty Russell, just getting ahead of Kakar and taking that charge. It's interesting. You can see that Kirsty Russell, she's undersized against players such as Jamila Thompson, but showed no fear whatsoever there.
She's actually been the bright spark. She's actually taking shots that she's supposed to take, and she's going. She's one of the standout players for me on the Queens. I think she needs more touches.
Well, things getting very aggressive now. You can see Marley Ball as Kakar just gone to the ground, but the referees just stopped play there. And Kakar, it's very uncommon to see her go to the floor. She never thinks twice about an injury. So if she's on the ground, something's not right.
It's not what we want to see, but I'm glad she's walking by herself. Maybe she just it's like the shock of it. You're always worried about your knees and your ankles, so she's walking fine, and I'm very happy to see that so she can get back in this game. It is getting a bit chippy out there, I noticed. The post-up and the charge, so they still come, Suns are acting like they're 4 points down the way they're playing defense at the moment, so it can get really frustrating for the Queens.
Well, the Queens right now, as you mentioned, the game is not really so much about X's and O's. It's more about heart desire to see the character you're made of. And at the moment that you can see the led by Kirsty Russell, just a different bit of energy about them, just trying to play a little bit more physical. But again, we don't want to see players going down.
No, definitely not.
Well, the City Queens now trailing this one by a very hefty margin. Of course, Kirsty Russell tries a Euro step.
Someone's got to slide. You can't. She hasn't got eyes in the back of her head. You've got to slide into the line of sight. There was a good open space on the elbow extended. You can't be calling for the ball at the top of the key when she's driven with her back to you. If you notice that her defensive matchup is a very good defensive matchup, and that's a testament to her. They want to shut her down, even though the score is how it is. She's going to set the screen. It's an open shot.
Well, Marley Ball there gets away with a push-off, hits the back iron again. Monicano with a rebound. And now Jamila Thompson will take this one. She's got Frankie Wirtz to her left. Well, Frankie now kicks this one back out to Janice Monicano. Well, Thompson left wide up for the mid-range. And Jamila Thompson tucks it away. And again, Jamila Thompson just doing Jamila Thompson things on the basketball court.
I think coach is going to have to hide this tape because she's going to get a lot of offers, She's one of them players. You can just see it. she has such a good pace about her. She looks like she's been doing this for 20 years. She's got an excellent pace, and I think her contract is going to be decent.
Well, Gloucester City Queens now, and you can see, I think, a knock in the back of the head there. Kirsty Russell, I think she's just gone down there.
I'm not sure with Kirsty Russell setting the screen if it's wise, because the best defender on the court right now is Thompson. So why is she setting the ball screen for it to be a switch for the best defender in the game to be guarding the ball now? You know, they can switch everything. So it's a very peculiar. You want her to have the ball. You need to be creating for her. I think she has to come out of the game now too, because the game was stopped because she had a head injury.
Well, she's definitely going to have to leave now. I think she signaled to the coach she doesn't want to go. But again, as you mentioned, it is part of the rule book. Once you go down for an injury in the game is stopped, you must leave. So she has now left the game.
That's tough. You know.
Lila Hall now coming back into the game here for the Gloucester City Queens. Well, at the moment, Gloucester City Queens with only 4 points. It's looking to be a very, very rough afternoon for them if they can't start to pick things up.
And this is a light scoring. Look at that, open up to the basket.
Well, Monicana now has a baseline, kicks out Jamila Thompson. She pump fakes, goes in with a Euro step, bit of contact. Doesn't get the and one. And Jamila Thompson now will go to the free throw line here for 2 shots.
I would like to have seen her shoot that ball, but it was a great drive. Maybe if she went underhand, it would have been a bucket. Overhand is a bit tough in traffic. And this offense for Suns is I've seen them do more. So hopefully they challenge themselves more on offense. I know that it looks like they're working through stuff. You know, they're trying to see who they can attack when they want to attack. But I've seen the Suns run some teams over.
Well, it's quite often you see teams come here to the Surrey Sports Park and, you know, become very competitive for 1, 2, possibly 3 quarters. But once you get into that 4th quarter, that's generally when it's lights out at that point. Very much game over. But in this case,
it's a good drive. Finish.
Gets her own rebound now, goes up, and a beautiful play. Well, the follow-up, and that's one way the Gloucester City Queens, of course, can get themselves back in this one is second chance points. Well, Monicana now kicking out to Renee Bush. She goes for a pump fake and a traveling violation called.
It's a tough call. It's a tough call. She didn't really. I understand the rules and stuff, but no one has actually an advantage on a travel. She was going to the baseline. I don't know if it was a travel, to be honest.
It is a very tough one because depending what basketball you watch, whether it is the NBA, whether it's European basketball, international, whatever, you see very much variance of how much the officials are very lenient towards the travel call. You know, in my personal opinion, if you call that one, you're going to have to call all of them.
All of them. You know, it's an open step. You know, we teach the kids every step, you know, the cross step, the open step. You know, maybe she didn't get the ball down quick enough. And the open step is the hardest one. It's the most, for what's being called, it's the most normal one to be called, the open step sweep through. But I don't think it was a travel.
I think the one league in the world where you probably see more travels than ever is the NBA.
No, definitely. I've seen some amazing things. I think sometimes the leagues have edited the rules of traveling because the #1 league in the world has dudes taking 50 steps. So it's one of those things.
I think my favorite clip highlight of a mockery of a travel was when Russell Westbrook was at OKC.
Oh my goodness.
And he inbounds the ball and he walks 6 steps where he puts it on the floor and he turns around and he's like, "Ref, what did I do?"
Oh, that was insane. I remember that. He had the ball over his head. I
yep.
remember. What's going on?
Well, Sevenoaks now bringing in Katie Riches into the game. Well, she's played 12 games this year. She was very much a second-string player, but this is a good opportunity for her to get some good looks on the ball and to really build some confidence now in a game like this at the moment. Leading by 34 points against the Gloucester City Queens with just over 3.5 to go here in the second quarter.
Offensive foul. It's a tough call. It's a tough one. Foul trouble is starting to get become a theme. You don't want to pick up another one in 3:27. You don't want to do that. It'd be tough.
Well, at the moment here for the Sevenoaks Suns, Renee Bush, she's leading the way here at the moment with 11 points. And again, she's looking very much to give the ball up here.
This is a great offense. What I love about this team is there's no definite ball handler. There's no pure point guard where everything runs through me. everything runs through the ball and movement, and I really, really like watching it.
Well, now you can see here Gloucester City Queens is trying to push this one in transition. Ball goes up with it, and again, bit of contact, but the foul's going to be called. That's a tough one, that is, of course, because you can see Jamila Thompson's probably just the movement she's done with her right hand there, but again,
she came up a bit gimpy. She needs a sub. Coach, this is one of those games where you don't want to play guys too much, but you don't want them to get out of rhythm because you know you've got a couple really big games coming up. You know, she's kind of turned her ankle, so that's Kat and Thompson out. So that's the two best defenders on the team. So right now, I'd say the next best is now Janice. So let's see who they put her on. Obviously, you might be able to get Russell back in the game with those two defensive hounds staying on the bench for now. Got an offensive rebound. That's unlike Sevenoaks Suns to let that fly.
I was about to say that's as good as a 4-point play there. Offensive rebound there for the Gloucester City Queens. But, you know, credit to them, of course. I mean, look, you know, the spectators will look at this and be very disappointed. But if you're a player for the Gloucester City Queens, things like that, they're just a big morale for you, going in for those offensive rebounds and just working on little things. You got to put this game already behind you and say, okay, what can we do as a team right now to improve?
Definitely, and I know the coach from the Sevenoaks Suns, he's a very calm character, but inside he must be seething about that.
Wow, interesting. I was Len's assistant coach in Austria one time at a tournament. And again, he's very calm. He sits down, but slightest thing and he gets up. He's a very passionate person. But again, a great character all overall. Montacana now from downtown. Janice time. Well, it's Montacana hour.
It's so smooth as well. It's just effortless. It looks effortless. Clearly isn't, but it's one of the smoothest shots I've seen.
Well, how long till the WNBA starts calling? I'd say she can shoot the ball from the perimeter.
Definitely. If you can really shoot that ball, you know, it translates. Every basket in the world is 10 feet.
Well, pick and roll scenario here for the Gloucester City Queens. A double team coming out from the Sevenoaks Suns. Great defense by Frankie Wirtz. Turnover. Frankie causing all sorts of problems there for the Gloucester City Queens as they currently now trail by 36 points with 2:06 to go here in the second quarter.
They've got to find a way just to look after the ball. If that's what you've got to take out of this game, looking after the ball can be one.
Well, Montacana missed a layup there. Goes out of bounds. That will be Gloucester City Queens ball.
It's tough. Ooh, Haley Miller's in the game. The lefty.
Well, Miller's played 10 games so far this season. Again, another player here, very much a true squad player, very, very hard-working player as well. Well, another three-pointer from downtown. I mean, she's hitting target every time she's shooting them.
Yeah, they're good shots. You've got to keep taking them. Haley Miller got her first rebound.
Beautiful. Showtime. Sevenoaks Suns basketball started with Renee Bush in transition, finding Montacana, and a sweet little dish off there to Julia Koppel.
Some consistency right there. The ball's got to move, you know.
How's that any different from the one that was called over there?
That definitely could have been a travel.
But how's that one any different from the one they called on Renee Bush?
That one's worse because it's on the move. You can really see it. Renee Bush's one's like a hairline. You know, it's either or. That one there, if she turns to the corner and gets a layup, you kind of get upset about that because she got an extra step. So it's very difficult. This is what we mean about the travels you call. You know, if you call a travel where someone hasn't got an advantage, it's a call that you're gonna regret.
You know, respect to our officials. We have three very good officials on the court, and it's not easy to referee, of course. But again, that's what I'm saying. When you call one, you have to call all of them, you know? Definitely.
You know, John's been a very good ref for many years. He refed me as a junior. I'm sure he refed you as a junior as well.
I got a picture of him on Facebook in my junior years. John Letizia, great ref. I love him. He's a great guy. Well, like me as well, he shares Italian heritage from the south. His family comes from the city of Brindisi. My family comes from the city of Napoli. Rival towns. Napoli's just a little bit better, of course, but we get along very. He sees me each week, and he's like, did you cover Brindisi in the Champions League? I said, not this week, John, maybe next week.
First free throws for the team, I believe.
Well, Marley Ball now leading the way here for the Gloucester City Queens. She now moves up to 5 points. They still trail here very heavily. 1:14 to go in the first half.
I do like this little passage of play from the Queens. I do like the fact that they got to the line. I do like the fact that they got an offensive rebound. I do like the fact, that they tried to move the ball.
That's, as you said, it's just finding games within games here. Koppel now kicking this one out to Busch.
Something's got to change. You can't leave her open. You know?
Well, it's too easy to get the ball in the paint right now.
Yeah.
Once they get the ball in the paint, the defense collapses, doesn't it?
Definitely. I think the ball pressure, maybe the ball pressure is just maybe so lackluster that they can pick their poison, but it's unacceptable.
Again, as you mentioned before, of course, liking this little resurgence in playing here for the Gloucester City Queens because, you know, at the beginning, they were just sitting back like lambs to the slaughter. But at the moment, they're showing a bit of fight, of course. And 1 second, they've got to force up the circus shot.
I don't understand how hard it would be just to come off that pick and roll quickly and let your defender roll. You know that she's so far as a player, you know that they're going over every screen and haven't gone under one screen. So you know you have to attack them hard. You know you have to rip through and attack hard. Why is it taking you so long to do that? That's what I need to know. Good screen by Haley. Another one. Is she going to roll? Yes, she is. She got the small girl on her back.
2 seconds difference now between the game clock and the shot clock. Carr goes down the middle now. Pulls up from the mid-range. Takes it. Nails it. 50 points.
She loves that drive. If she's using her left hand or her right hand. You know, I really tried to talk to our young girls about basketball and how they have to be good at both, dribbling with both hands. That was a great play to finish the quarter. They didn't, you know, Queens didn't even get a shot off.
But again, it just shows you the defense here of the Sevenoaks Suns. We talk about 50 points and a half, but again, this team's hungry. They just know how to shut people down. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in 15 minutes now for the second half here of this WBBL fixture. As it stands, the Sevenoaks Suns, the hosts here at Surrey Sports Park, they lead 50-8 against the Gloucester City Queens. We'll be back soon.
1, 2, 2. One, two. T, t, t.
capitalised by Julia Pepper. Rebound taken by Julia Pepper. Second. Johnson. Basket is good.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, now to the second half here of this WBBL fixture between our hosts, the Sevenoaks Suns, and the visitors, the Gloucester City Queens. And I'm live here with professional basketball player Ishmael Fontaine. Ish, what have we seen so far here from the first half? It's 50-8 in favor of the Sevenoaks Suns.
I think we've seen a very professional performance. I think we've seen guys people really running the floor, moving the ball, sharing the ball, and defensively just being suffocating, denying, bumping, covering the basket. And very, very, most importantly, almost the most important thing, talking on defense. Everyone's mouth's moving, everyone's trying to box out and rebound. The discipline's amazing. Obviously, the Gloucester City Queens, they needed that half. I think they could come out with some real good stuff. You know, it's great to have that time with your coach. And I hope to see that Russell has a better game collectively, because I think she was my bright spark. But the other girls have to step up. They've got to box out. The rebounding offensively is unacceptable. And, you know, now you've got a fresh Sevenoaks team you've got to go against.
Well, at the moment, of course, here for the Sevenoaks Suns, Renee Bush leading the way right now. She has 14 points. On cat card number 22, she's following up with 8 points. But as we mentioned so far here in the first half, she's been a little bit more of a facilitator here for the Sevenoaks Suns.
Definitely, and you know, she can score at will. She's very professional. She can go right, she can go left. I think she's going to be way more aggressive this game. Well, this half, you know.
There's the dish off there from Kat Carr as we talked about the penetration, finding Julia Koppel wide open under the basket.
That's how she started the game in the first half. She's getting hit a lot, and she's going to start getting frustrated.
Well, loss of balance there by Carolina Marquez. Another turnover there for the Gloucester City Queens.
You know, Kat was still talking to the official. That's not really like her. I know she got hit in the first half on her knee, and it probably stressed her out a bit. I expect her to be a bit more aggressive and a bit more physical getting to the basket this half.
Oh,
there's the post right there.
The dump down to Kat Carr. Easy basketball, lays it up, and that's just simply unstoppable.
Yeah, you know, I think she's going to start trying to score now. You want to hit me, I'm going to show you who the real big is.
Oh, the Gloucester City Queens now here trailing very heavily once again. And again, just trying to find that identity here in the second half, something they really lacked at the beginning of the game in the first quarter.
Definitely. He's holding the ball again. You don't like to see it. She's got to use the screen in that situation. It's a good move, though. I mean, when you deny the screen, you take a player out of the game because your team, the defensive person on the screen side doesn't have to rotate. So you have to understand what decision you're making when you deny the screen. I know she's a strong left-handed player, though.
Well, Carolina Marquez, trying to figure out if Carolina Marquez comes from Spain or Brazil with the last name.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Or Portugal, possibly.
It's one of the regions, for sure. Makes her first free throw. Got into the line early. This is good. This is a good sign for the Queens. They didn't get to the line that quick in the first half, so that's a good sign. Some token pressure right here, trying to keep Renee Bush out the middle, and she strips her. One-on-one, got to be aggressive. Great spin.
Marquez now with a spin out. Doesn't get it.
Got to use your left in that situation.
That was a nice little defensive play there. The spin out. Now Kat Carr, they're finding Frankie Wirtz in transition. Wirtz down the middle, stops up and just puts that one in the basket.
Marquez has come out with some great fire right now. It's great to see.
Well, the Gloucester City Queens at the moment here, you can see that's a much better play there by Carolina Marquez. We can see the pick in the pocket, but again, the three from downtown, the three is up, no good. Jamila Thompson with a rebound.
I would like to see some sort of post play at some point. There's been 0 post touches for the Gloucester City Queens, and it's tough when you're trying to get easy baskets.
Well, looking for a dish off now. Kat Carr finding Thompson. Thompson, well, the no-look pass, but the cameraman was wide open, but I'm not sure he wanted to shoot the basketball.
Well, he is in blue. I think Frankie Wirtz, she could have slid to the corner quick, and that would have been a great pass. But, these little things do happen, and that's probably why the coach is going through a lot of stuff right now because, in a couple of weeks, that's going to be a pass that she needs to make, and that's going to be a shot someone needs to hit.
Well, I spoke to Len Bush at halftime, and he was saying to me that he didn't want his players to hold up because they recently lost to Nottingham, which they weren't very aggressive. They, didn't really take the game to the Nottingham Hoods, and credit to them for leaving the victory. So, again, he wants to see a big response from his players today, regardless of who the opponent is.
And, that was a tough loss because they were on 1 loss, and you could have been, the climax of the WBBL league could have been, okay, London Lions, Sevenoaks Suns, 1 loss.
Oh, Renee Bush now sinking it from downtown again, just punishing the Gloucester City Queens. They clearly didn't read the scouting report on what Renee Bush could do.
I'm not sure what's on the scouting report. I mean, the girl played on TV. Do you not know she can shoot the ball? Again, one-on-one with the best defender in the league. Yep.
Great defense there from Kat Carr, of course. And again, Kat Carr looks very angry. She will remonstrate with the officials about the physical play, but she's a physical player herself. She just wants it to be done within the rules of the game. And that was, again, trying to attack Kat Carr off the dribble. It's going to be a tough night for you. Well, the old saying of how you want to do the job, of course, do it the easy way or the hard way is now Frankie Wirtz, uncontested, lays that one off the backboard.
Great drive.
Again, the rotation defense there from the Gloucester City Queens. Nowhere to be seen as Frankie Wirtz just punishes them, and now it's a 51-point lead here to the Sevenoaks Suns. Well, great help side defense there on the hard show from Julia Koppel. It goes out of bounds, and that will be Gloucester City Queens ball, but again, looking very timid, very nervous at the moment, not like we saw them in the second part of the second quarter.
I like to see Marquez attack the hip a bit better off that pick and roll. It's a hard hedge, it's a hard hedge, you've got to attack the hip.
4 on the shot clock now, got to get something going. They force up a circus shot, the 3 is up, no good, and now Renee Bush comes up with it. Oh, she's got Carr ahead of it. Carr now will pull up from the mid-range transition, and that is simply beautiful basketball there from the Sevenoaks Suns.
Just what she does. If you watch her in her warm-up, she shot about 100 of those. She's not playing. If you give her that shot, she will take it every time.
Well, Marquez now kicking this one out to Kirsty Russell. Well, Russell now got it by Jamila Thompson.
It's a tough cover.
And now we're under 10 on the shot clock here for the Queens. Carolina Marquez and another turnover. And at the moment, the body language here from the Gloucester City Queens not looking very good, of course.
It's obviously unacceptable. You can change. You can change what's happening on the basketball court. The body language has to change. The culture has to change.
It looks like now they need some leadership. They need somebody just to come in and just be a voice for this team.
100%. Haley Miller back in the game. She got a good rebound and ran the floor. Maybe she'll get a lot of pick and roll looks in this situation.
Well, Kat Carr now playing point guard here for the Suns is now Frankie Wirtz. Takes a jab step, steps back, takes a three-point, doesn't get it. And the rebound secured by Kirsty Russell.
Double dribble.
Again, Russell very indecisive. But again, you got to count that down to Jamila Thompson just running with her in transition, forcing her to make a decision in which she became indecisive.
Yeah, definitely. She had the ball in her weak hand. She was dribbling up the floor. She kind of wanted to get out of her hand because she had Thompson, a very good defender, chasing her. And it kind of caused her, for her to turn the ball over.
Well, Frankie now heavily guarded here by Marquez. Finds Janice Monicana, who's just checked back into the game. Had a very good first half, Janice Monicana, but we expected that, from Janice. And Monicana now finding Thompson under the basket. Oh, she missed it. Beautiful play with Thompson. Just follows up with it. And Janice comes back up. And now Carr down the middle finds Jamila Thompson. Thompson, this time, she gets it. The assist coming from the MVP.
It started with that Haley Miller rebound, and then it ended with a high-low. It's great basketball.
It's just fun to watch, of course, how they move the ball. It's almost like the emphasis here from the Sevenoaks Suns is I've got a shot, but you've got a better one.
Definitely. Switching the screens now.
It goes down the middle now. Marquez heavily guarded by Monicana. Gets pocket pick there. They got to get a shot up. The shot is up, and another 24-second violation. That is the sixth one here of the game. Again, you might see that from a professional team once, twice, maybe over the course of a few games, but not 6 in one game.
Oh, 6 is unacceptable. I would like to see a different defense. I actually want to see what the Queens do in the zone. I think this is a good opportunity to have it. I'm not saying there's not great shooters on the floor. You just know where where your shooters are, which is probably everybody. But in the same breath, let's try and confuse the Sevenoaks Suns. At least get them out of rhythm. Right now you're playing the same defense you played in the first half. They're getting ready to put another 50 points on you, and you've got 10 points yourself. It's not healthy.
Too easy there for Jamila Thompson. When you talk about going to a zone, of course, this is the first time in a long time we've had sunshine here in Surrey. And I feel like if the Gloucester City Queens went to a zone, the rain will stop to drop from the Sevenoaks Suns.
I think, there is a chance. I think the issue I'm having is you don't rebound the ball anyway, and you're not closing out to people. At least if you guard the area, that shooter, that Renee Bush, Thompson, Monicana, their people are in an area where that's your responsibility. At the moment, the ball's moving way too quick and no one's actually recovering.
Oh, we got a timeout now. I think that's called by, Coach Lembush, actually. And again, just goes to show, most people would look at this and say, well, you're just beating your opponent right now. But he is respecting the opponent. He's still getting his players to play very well. They're moving the ball very well. He's saying to them, look, we didn't come out ready to play against the Nottingham Hoods. And again, any team can beat you on any given day. You must treat every opponent like the rest, of course. We must treat every opponent like the other London Lions. No team is just another team here in the WBBL.
No, definitely. And if you do have this tendency to go, okay, we're playing the London Lions as a big game, and kind of forget about the rest of the league, which is a very strong league. Manchester Mystics, what a strong team they have, the amount of England internationals, Olympians they have on that team, and if you see where they are in the league, you'd say they were underachieving. So if you think, what Len's doing is he's really keeping them locked in because playoffs is looming, and that's a trophy you can win.
Well, 57-point lead here, 4:30 to go in the third quarter. At the moment, the Suns are blazing. And the Queens, royalty has been stripped from them here so far on the court. Definitely the castle is not their bearings here in the county of Surrey. But at the moment, we'll see how far they can fight back. We have said this time and time again in this game, Ishmael. It's not about the X's and O's for the Gloucester City Queens. It's about pride. It's about, what are you made of at this moment?
Definitely. Oh, I see some pressure. It's great to see.
There. Gets called. The foul drawn against Haley Miller. And again, it's just that little bit, but again, it's the same player as we said in the second quarter. Kirsty Russell just making that little bit of an effort. That's something you want to see in a game like this right now.
I like the pressure. That's the first time I've saw any oomph, and it's very impressive. It's funny what happens when you pressure teams. Pick and roll.
They're trying to go down the middle against Kat Carr. Monicana puts a hand in the cookie jar.
It's a tough cover. Kat Carr's not going to let you do that. Even if you do beat her middle, she's going to be right there with you. It's another block, too.
And another thing as well, you can see Janice Monicana there coming for the help side. Someone had to be open at that point, but a quick three-pointer.
It's a good shot.
And an offensive rebound. The second offensive rebound, I believe, here that we've seen so far from the City Queens.
Got to attack the hit.
Well, 5 seconds on the shot clock now. Got to get something going. Has to force it up. She's got to shoot it. Russell in the corner. Almost got the drop. Can she get it? No, she can't. Miller with a rebound. Well, Frankie Verts now will dribble this one up here for the Sevenoaks Suns. Finding Cat Car. She comes off one screen. A bit of time, a bit of space.
Can't go under on Cat Car. Very lucky.
Montecana with a rebound. Montecana throws it right away. And now a bit of transition here. Goes all the way. Well, again, you like to see that from Marley Ball, of course. Very aggressive there in transit, but has to have a bit more control.
Definitely. Love to see. At least they're running. At least they're attacking. Hayley Miller missed the box out there. She got lucky there. It's not like her.
Well, just over 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 57-point lead now here to the Suns. As now Frankie Verts comes up, finding Cat Car. Car pulling up again for the mid-range. Doesn't get it. The rebound secured by Marquez. And now the Gloucester City Queens can push this one.
At least they're pushing the ball and controlling the tempo a bit. It's great to see. The roll is open.
Well, Marquez with a crossover now. She's under 10 on the shot clock, being guarded by Montecana. Takes a tough one from no man's land, doesn't get it. Miller with a rebound, and now the Suns can push.
It's the first time anyone went under the screen on Marquez, and she took the shot, so it was a good decision.
Well, Verts left wide open. She can knock these down. The three is up. The three is good. Well, they called in the cash money, and all of a sudden, Frankie Verts turned up in the third quarter.
There's a lot of weapons on this team.
Well, Frankie Verts, I believe last season was playing in Luxembourg, so a bit of experience to her professional career as another three-pointer. And finally, the first perimeter shot of the game here for the Gloucester City Queens from Marley Ball. And that's a good look. I mean, she's had some good looks this evening.
Yeah, definitely, and that's why you keep shooting the ball, because now one's down, a few more to follow.
Well, Carr now here. You go down low to Janice Montecana. She's going to go in the low post, a bit of contact, and she gets the and one. Janice time, Montecana hour. She'll go to the charity stripe for the three-point play and probably put the Sevenoaks Suns up by 60 points here. With 1:57 to go in the third quarter.
What's great about that is she didn't fall in love with the jumper. She came in the game and she hit 2 jumpers straight away. Now she's like, okay, I'm going to get in your post and give you some work down here. So she's just a complete player.
That's what I love about Janice Montecana. Just such a very diverse player. She can shoot the ball from the perimeter. She can put the ball on the floor. And as you can see right there, when she has that mismatch, she can post up and she's got very good footwork.
Oh, definitely.
Well, Montecana knocks down the three-point play now. 60-point lead here to the Sevenoaks Suns. Under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. On the backdoor play now, finding Marquez. Marquez with a shimmy goes in. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful play there.
It's a great move.
I mean, you got to love the hesitation, but the scoop hook shot against the backboard. I mean, that's what we've been just begging to see from the Gloucester City Queens.
She's come out with some fire. It's very, very nice to see. She's playing physical on defense, but, right now, just keep, don't get into foul trouble. You're doing a great job. It's great to watch.
Well, Kimberly Wilkes now checks into the first time. She's played 3 games so far this season. Montecana kicking this one out. Now Verts goes down the middle. A great job by Russell there. But again, Frankie Verts diving on the floor and it goes out of bounds. Now, that's going to stay 6 seconds on the shot clock because the Gloucester City Queens didn't have full possession of the basketball.
Well, what I love to see is, Marquez has come out with some fire. Now it's getting contagious. Everyone's getting into it. They're tapping the ball. They're pressuring it. It's great to see. And this is what we want, culturally for the Queens team. We want them to come out and play this way. They're a small team. They can get into you. They can run.
Well, Frankie's got to be aware now. She's got a few seconds. Step back, takes it. Deflection. And great defense. And, collectively, good work by the Gloucester City Queens. It's now Batista will take this one in transition. There's another pump fake. Well, Marquez had a wide open Batista, but didn't get the ball to her on the perimeter.
I think you either shoot that ball or you move that ball. The closeout was good, and Sevenoaks made a very good job of getting to the basket first and protecting the basket and then trying to get out to people. So, yeah, it's a tough one.
Well, it's going to be a sideline ball now. Batista will inbound this one here for the Gloucester City Queens. She finds Marley Ball. The shot is up and tucks that one away.
Great rotation on that jump shot. Great rotation, and she turned with her correct footwork and everything. Now, this is what we like to see.
Well, heavy deficit now with under a minute to go as Cat Car finding Montecana under the basket. Bit of contact. And again, Janice Montecana. I might right say now the doctor has just come to work. And she is just going back to the charity stripe.
I think she might be leading her team in scoring off the bench. That might be the case. And again, I said Marquez, now she's in a situation where she could be in foul trouble. She's had a very good third quarter. She's shot the ball well. She's attacked the basket. She's got to the free throw line, and now she's making these fouls. She has to relax.
Any other team, Janice Monacan is the go-to player. She's a franchise player.
100%.
Because she's on a great team. Her role is to come off the bench, but she could easily start this team.
What I think as well, what I think a lot of teams and agents and coaches, I dare to say, looking out for her is that she doesn't mind playing a role and being so effective. That's more valuable than someone that needs the ball all the time.
Well, Kakar, I think maybe just got away with a backcourt violation there, but finds Frankie now. Frankie looking to throw this one down low while Montacana pump fakes, pulls up from the mid-range.
She's nice. She's nice.
Well, the heat is just starting to turn up right now, and now there's no shot clock here, so the Gloucester City Queens can take the last shot here in the third quarter. Remember, they trail right now by 61 points here to the Sevenoaks Suns. There's now Batista. She's eyeing this one up, guarded by Frankie Verts, kicks this out, good ball movement. They find Marquez, guarded by Montacana, steps back, takes a three-pointer, three is up, and the second three-pointer of the game now made by the Gloucester City Queens. Carl will throw it up.
She's having a very good third quarter. Very good third quarter. If you notice, Baptista, they're going under the ball screens on her, so maybe she uses that screen and shoots the ball when Wirtz goes under, because you see Kat Carr, she's loading up on the screener, and she decided not to use the screen. It worked out. They got a good jump shot out of it, but these are the kind of things that you have to either work on while you're down by this much or understand when you're down by this much or when you're up. You know, these are kind of things you have to kind of grasp.
Well, more inspirational play there from the Gloucester City Queens in the third quarter. You know, again, we've said this time and time again. They got to look at this fourth quarter and say, look, we got nothing to lose right now. Let's just go for it. Let's play. But they have to be collective. They have to be together. And they can see much better third quarter from Carolina Marquez and Inma Batista, of course.
100%. And they've got to understand they're a brand new franchise. And they're really trying to develop their everything in Gloucester. You know, I've never heard of a team from Gloucester before. So it's a brand new kind of situation you're in. Most people that are over there probably had to come from other places to play there. You know, I know they picked up somebody from D1. So it's a learning curve all the way through. But you now need to get this momentum of this fourth quarter into your practices so you can break this game down about what went wrong, if it's something that always goes wrong, or if it's not, and if it's something we can improve on. So this is what you really want to do in this fourth quarter if you're the coach.
Well, exciting things obviously happening in the city of Gloucester. The talk of a possible BBL franchise coming in the future. Rumors have been circulating in the British Basketball League. Obviously, the WBBL, the foundations right now are being built, of course. You know, this is very exciting times. You know, we talk about basketball being very big in Plymouth. You know, I was at the Plymouth City Patriots game last week, and that fan base there at Pavilions, it was phenomenal.
It's an unbelievable fan base. I remember them booing me in 2012. Anthony Rowe did some naughty things in Milton Keynes, and he got told off, and then we got booed in Plymouth. I remember that story.
Oh, my Lord, Anthony Rowe. What a shout out to Anthony Rowe, of course. Shout out to Vince McCauley, too.
That's my brother right there. He owes me a cigar.
He owes me a beer, actually. I bought my beer at Leicester, too.
Oof, see?
Vince, you're in a bit of debt right now.
You're in trouble. Uncle, you're in trouble right now.
Well, Gloucester City Queens now trailing here by 58 points. Fourth quarter. Well, Russell now gets rejected. Not in my house, said Kenny Richards.
It's a tough one. Your smallest player in the post against the biggest player on the floor. It's a tough one.
Well, lack of movement on the perimeter there for the Gloucester City Queens, making it very difficult. But now, defensively, having to shut down. A nice give-go play there between Jamila Thompson and Frankie Verts. Miss a layup.
They ran that play in the first half, but Thompson gave it to the opposite big on the opposite side instead of the guard. But this time the guard was open. This is a good idea, breaking down the bigger players. A good shot too. Ooh, she might have mixed her a bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. That might get on YouTube.
Well, Carolina Marquez, she made a three-pointer in the third quarter. Now she makes an 18-foot jump shot. Maybe the confidence just building in the game at the moment. And now the Suns here going to the set motion offense, trying to methodically break down. They go down low here to Richards. Richards trying to post up.
It's a good move. It's a good stand as well by Baptista. Good stand. You know, you're missing like 3 or 4 inches off, you know, but you stand hard and you play well, so that's good. I think obviously you want to get the ball back to Baptista, but let's not forget how good Russell was in the first half. And how aggressive she's playing. She just needs to get in the area where she can get a bucket. She's got a really big player on her. She shouldn't be trying to post her up. Could have been called a moving screen. This is a good drive. It's a good pass. At least, well, it's a good try. A foul was called. Oh, a foul was called by one ref. And now John's going to come out and sort it out. Good old John.
I went down to speak to John at halftime, of course. Dio Letizia, Uncle Letizia, as I call him. And again, just the experience now taking over. And now he's just discussing with Lem why the change was made.
I thought one ref called a foul, the other ref called out of bounds, and John came out and gave the ball back to Gloucester without, and it was saying it was out of bounds off them. So there was 3 different things that could have possibly, that's an offensive foul.
Uncle John with the last say there.
He's the boss.
Almost like Uncle Frank from Home Alone as well.
Yeah.
Could be his possible stunt double, but right at the moment, 4th quarter to go here. Renee Bush will bring the ball up now for the Sevenoaks Suns. She checks back into the game with a double crossover.
This is what Renee Bush needs to work on, because when she was at GB, as much as she could really shoot the ball, she struggled putting it on the floor against those big athletic guards, but this is no problem for her.
Oh, she must have heard you. She does what she does best. She lights it up in the perimeter.
I literally have no idea how it's possible that GB International, who shoots the ball so well in international play, is wide open in league play. It just really stresses me out.
Well, now she's going to take this one down the middle here in transition. Finding Frankie Verts. Beautiful fast break basketball. And the Gloucester City Queens coach has seen enough. He has to score timeout as his team now trail by 61 points. Renee Bush, what an impact she makes when she gets right back in the game. As you mentioned, GB International, renowned for her perimeter shooting. But as you can see here in the WBBL, almost that Showtime point guard-esque ability as well.
When she develops that more, you know, she's going to be a problem. I think that's one thing not missing from her game, because she can clearly do it, but when she gets to international play, it's not the biggest priority for who's around. But, you know, gay basketball's fluid. She might have to do that in some situations. She might have to bring the ball up, come off a screen, you know, the way other teams might defend her. So you don't want to have her so alienated from the game that there's no reason to have her there. But so she wants to develop these kind of things, and it's great that she gets to do it at Sevenoaks.
Well, I think it'd be no doubt they break 100 points, of course. But, you know, the thing here what I like about the Sevenoaks Suns is, you know, most teams, when they have these big margins, they tend to set back and be a little bit too casual. They're just still going at it. They're not going at it with the same players. They're rotating. They're getting players in and out of the rotation. You know, I'd like to see Jamila Thompson possibly come back in and maybe see a side to her game that we haven't seen so far. I mean, one thing I like to see about Jamila Thompson is playing that point guard role. Now, she's just got back into the game at the moment, and Katie Richards will probably play the center role.
We've got a point guard on the floor, under 16 player, alum, number 6. Under 16s for the Sevenoaks Suns. It's very good to see her in a professional basketball game. I was watching her warm up. It might be a problem.
Well, she's played 4 games so far this season, as you mentioned, part of the academy. But this is what we need to see more in British basketball. And a credit to the Sevenoaks Suns. More players making that jump from the junior academy stages up into either the NBL or the BBL, the WBBL, whatever that may be. You want to see that progression from young British talent.
You definitely want to see the pathway, and they're going under straight away, and she's recognized it and she shot it. That's great. That's great to see from Baptista. They were going under on her the whole game, and now she's like, no, we're not going to let the rookie go under on me now. You ain't going to do that. So that's great to see.
Well, that's the 3rd three-pointer now of the game here for the Gloucester City Queens. Is now Renee Bush. Finds Jamila Thompson. Richards almost hits the top of the backboard. And we get the rebound now. Goes up for a second chance. And again, 4 Gloucester City Queen players around her, but she's still able to make the jump hook.
She's very tall, and that's a great baby hook. Great footwork. Yeah, she's going to, yep. Now they're throwing on her. See, they can't go under anymore. This is what happens, you know. Now she needs to make the next step. It's great.
Well, Batista there, you can see, she made her last three-pointer. As Marquez, she made 2 big shots as well. You want to see them try to either get open for their own shot or try and use the basketball to create their own shots. Now Marquez with another one. And again, I think she's hearing. She must have an earpiece or something.
It must be happening.
She must be listening to us. Well, now Renee Bush will find Jamila Thompson. And Thompson now back to Renee Bush, left wide open. Another three-pointer. Bush from downtown. It is automatic.
I don't think They don't have the earpiece, I guess, on defense, because that's how many open shots is she going to get?
Well, now Batista on the ball, finding Carolina Marquez now. Now you can see Coach Len Bush saying to his player, tough defense, goes wrap around. Well, beautiful move, but couldn't finish it.
It's a baptism of fire for Alum. They're attacking her defensive on defense, so. But she can really play offensively. She's got a great handle.
Jamila Thompson with eyes in the back of her head just saw where Renee Bush was going. And again, you got to love that delivery there from Thompson.
She's a very good player. She's a very good basketball player. I'm very, very impressed. She's insane. Guarding the best player on the team, bringing the ball up. She's actually playing the 4 at the moment. But we've seen her in ball handling situations today. We've seen her on the wing, and now she's playing the 4, and she's still creating from every position she's played in. It's insane. She might have the biggest. I want to see the plus-minus after the game. She must be up there.
Well, identifying the mismatch now. She's got the ball, looking to isolate. Pump fakes, takes the second one. Hits the back iron, doesn't get it. As Marquez gets a rebound. And now the Gloucester City Queens will try to push this one. And Marley Ball now with the ball in her hands, looking for Kirsty Russell, but didn't get the ball in time to her.
I think Gloucester City Wolves have got to stop. Gloucester City Queens have got to stop panicking offensively. Everyone's screaming for the ball, you know.
Again, all of a sudden, there you can see one more time that Carolina Marquez with another jump shot. That's a third jump shot here. One of those coming from the perimeter in the second half is now Jamila Thompson with the handoff, got it by Marquez. JT now kicks this one out to Alum. Alum with a pump fake and a traveling violation.
She bobbled the ball, and it established her pivot foot. I was excited to see what she was about to do there. She has a bag. She actually, she does have a bag. So I was excited to see what might have popped off.
I think with the confidence sets in with her, and the nerves set off of just making, only 4 games played so far this season in the WBBL. It's always a nervy transition when you come play at the higher level. It's a different crowd, of course, a different tempo, different sound of a play.
100%, and you really got to think, I'm playing professional basketball. There's players on this team that have been everywhere where I want to go. I want to go to college. I might want to play academy basketball. I might want to be a pro. So it's tough to deviate from what they're doing and try and do your own thing.
Well, we got a timeout now as these two teams are going to talk it over. Well, it's currently now a 58-point lead here to the Sevenoaks Suns. As at the moment, Marley Ball, number 35 now. She is the top scorer in this game for the Gloucester City Queens. No, she's not actually. Carolina Marquez, as she started to cook it up here in the second half. She has 14 points, but Marley Ball now moves up to 12. Cutting it down to a 57-point deficit. Now, the thing for the Suns here is probably going to be to try to break 100 points, but the give-and-go play now. Bush down the middle, takes a layup, doesn't get it.
I like to see this energy, pushing the ball. Baptista with the 3. Great shot.
Well, Baptista and Marquez, where were you in the first half? Because now you can see a little bit more swag, a little bit more confidence in their transition play there.
It's a tough matchup for Russell. Good switch.
Well, Riches now goes with a turnaround. She gets fouled, and she will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. The foul is going to be called on Lila Hall.
She has to compete better in the defensive end. You can't just let people walk into the post.
My dad used to always. For those who have heard of who my father is, apologies for repeating this. My dad is a former BBL coach. He used to be a stiffler for post denial defense. He used to say, whenever you let an easy post entrance, you're a disgrace of a defender. 99% of those comments were towards me.
I don't think you could get away with calling someone a disgrace now with all the safeguarding. I don't know, you know. You can use certain vocabulary now.
I could say worse things he called me. I think for parental advisory, we will keep that clean on this commentary. Mickey Bet, probably just on the couch right now in Canada.
I remember watching a soundbite from him telling Steve Bucknell off. I couldn't believe that there was anybody on the planet that would tell Steve Bucknell off. He was like, no, Steve, there's a bad shot. I was like, oh, this is where Steve got it from.
The best part about that was Buck walks away with a smile, and then Dad says to him, yeah, you can smile all you want. And Buck turns around like, you know, what'd you say to me? And then it was Steve Nelson turned around and was like, hey, calm things down. And then they went and won the trophy together.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's a good pass.
I tell you
3 seconds in the key.
If it's one player I remember back in the day who was just a fierce competitor, but it probably is one of my favorite players of all time. Malcolm Leake.
Malcolm Leake, yeah.
So let me make a comparison to Malcolm Leake. Great basketball player, really good professional, but one of the best trash talkers I'd ever seen.
Oh, really?
Complete opposite to someone like Ronnie Baker. Great professional, great player.
Never said a word.
Never
I played
said
with
a
Ronnie
word.
Baker.
Ronnie Baker's just one of the greatest people you'll ever meet as well.
No, he's unbelievable. And, you know, I played with him in Essex when he was 44, and this guy was still doing 2 workouts a day. He was an amazing player, amazing person to have around as well. He really helped me.
And then you got his twin brother, Steroid Baker, who's the same age, now still running marathons, of course.
Yeah, they both of them could do it. I mean, you might go to Crystal Palace just for a walk into Crystal Palace Leisure Centre and see Ronnie Baker running a suicide. It's just what he does.
Well, Frankie Verts now here on the ball. Heavily guarded, comes off one screen. Looking to attack the basket, finding Jamila Thompson, drawing the defense, and JT left wide open for the layup.
I really like how Frankie Verts moves. I know she's got the herky-jerky layup. You know, she keeps herself close to the body when she runs off them screens, especially in that home play, and she makes a great decision.
Well, picking up the assist there, Frankie Verts, and now Gloucester City Queens. You can see the defense becoming a little bit more aggressive now for the Sevenoaks Suns.
Chloe Bush is literally face guarding number 35, so...
Verts now transition, falls over, finds Renee. Renee's made a few tonight, takes another one. Doesn't get it. The rebound by Richards.
Renee let her off there.
Verts now penetration. Coming off another screen.
She wants to play in the post. She's not playing anymore.
Thompson down the middle now. JT goes in with a little floater and rims it around.
She demanded the ball just then. I could see in her face she wanted that ball. It was going to be trouble.
Well, Jamila Thompson, we see that time and time this season here in the WBBL. That is Jamila Thompson just doing Jamila Thompson things on the court.
Especially when you think about how well they moved the ball today. I think it's really nice when your teammate can go, look, I need that ball. I need to score on this woman. She's pushing me. Great. Ooh, that Hezo's nice.
The rejection. Frankie Verts said, get out of here.
I thought she was going to get called for a carry right there, the way the calls have been going today.
Cross-court, good ball movement here from the Suns. Back out to Frankie Verts. She got a block down the other end. Takes a 3, and that is good night from the Surrey Sports Park. Frankie Verts on both ends of the basketball court.
It's just a great thing to watch.
Well, Batista now here with a bit of shake and bake, looking to isolate. Goes in with the left hand. Step through the kick out now to Marquez.
It's a great closeout.
Jamila Thompson now, she's got ahead of it. Frankie Verts. Oh, it's a beautiful time. Showtime! Sevenoaks Suns basketball.
Running the floor still in 2 minutes left to go in the fourth, and they're still running, playing really high intensity basketball. Renee Bush is face guarding the highest scorer on the Queens. So great in and out, great drive.
Stat sheet is just pinging right now with Frankie Verts. Block, 3 points, assist. Jamila Thompson running the break one more time. And again,
Layla Hall really needs to get into that dunker spot in that situation and go get that ball and lay that ball up. That would really frustrate me as a player.
Oh, it's amazing when you have someone like Jamila Thompson just running the floor and how easy it makes the point guard's life. You just pick out those passes all night long.
Definitely, definitely.
Well, looking to give this one up now. Russell has to force up a three-pointer, doesn't get it. Hits a front iron. Richards comes up with a rebound, and a foul's going to be called. John Letizia didn't like what he saw there.
some of the themes from the first half where the girls from the Gloucester City Queens are holding the ball, denying the screen with no other options. Some of those themes from the first half that they kind of got rid of in the second half are coming back, and it's unacceptable.
Well, we got a timeout now. We'll be back shortly in just under a minute. Well, no timeout was called. Actually, it was a substitution, so the officials trying to bring all the players back on the court.
Marquez has taken her sweet time. She said, I'm going to get my water and I'm going to sit. It wasn't my fault.
Well, Marquez, of course, much better here in the second half, but again, they've needed that all game long so far.
It was great to see her quality, you know. We saw a lot of pressuring, we saw a lot of denials, we saw a lot of the holding of the ball, but the quality in the second half is really showing. It's great to see.
Well, Batiste now coming off one screen, under 10 the shot clock, and throws it away. Well, Letizia was wide open.
Yeah, she was open. But what's yeah, he's always open.
Letizia, he probably could make that shot.
Well, what's happened now with the adjustment on the pick and rolls with Baptista is now that they're showing and they're really hard hedging, so she's picking the ball up. She needs to continue to dribble the ball and just back up and find a teammate, just relax a bit.
Well, the reach in there, it's going to be a sideline ball now with 13 on the shot clock here for the Sevenoaks Suns. As now, Renee Bush will inbound the ball.
Haley Miller back in for the Sevenoaks Suns.
Well, they get the ball inbound. They go back to Renee Bush. She's left wide open. She takes the three. The three is up, and it is lights out here. And it's a 68-point lead now to the Sevenoaks Suns. Renee Bush is cooking it on the basketball court. 26 points for the GB International.
An efficient 26.
And an offensive foul and an illegal screen set by Kirsty Russell.
I believe that was a 5-second violation on Marquez. Actually, I think I saw John show a 5-second violation. She was holding the ball. These kind of calls these are the things that you can't really have in professional basketball. You know, you can't have someone actually doing that to you, literally not making you dribble the ball.
I agree with you. Of course, you need to mix it up a little bit, but you know. We'll see how every year the international rules in basketball, they do evolve, different changes coming in, as is the NBA as well, and the WNBA. You see that a lot as well. It'd be interesting to see how those rules do evolve over the next few years. Definitely.
She's got some sauce, and I think you have to bring it early. Definitely got some game. Definitely got a lot to give, It was a tough game for the Queens. I think they can go back and down to practice and kind of understand what they were doing. But great to watch from the Sevenoaks Suns. Such a professional, hard-fought, hard-worked performance. Excellent. I was really, really impressed with how everyone conducted themselves this whole game.
Well, they will dribble this one. And ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this game, it is the Sevenoaks Suns 102, the Gloucester City Queens 34. As usual, commentary coming from Josh Bett, myself, and Ishmael Fontaine. But for now, we'll see you next week here. WBBL Basketball live here at the Surrey Sports Park.
Caledonia Pride, 14 points for the visitors. And the Suns finishing off with 2 points in the WBBL. Next Sunday for the final game of the regular season with a visit of London. I hope you enjoyed the game. Congratulations to the Gloucester City Suns. Thanks for coming and have a safe journey.